With this objective, we set up a full-fledged tele-ICU from scratch. We partnered with reputed hospital groups in Bangalore, like Columbia Asia Hospital, Manipal Group, and also Narayana Hrudayalaya Health City in Bangalore. The trained intensivists and specialists from these facilities would interact with all the government hospitals across the state, including Bangalore-based facilities, and provide tele-ICU facilities to all the district level hospitals and medical colleges and the private hospitals, both secondary and tertiary level care, so as to facilitate optimal and standard treatment protocols for all the critical and high risk cases. And to ensure that the continuing medical and nursing education is there, we ensured that the doctors are trained regularly to handle all the critically ill patients at their respective hospitals itself, and to ensure collection, collation, analysis, and dissemination of real-time data. Next. The valuable inputs by the intensivists and experts through the critical care support unit, e-rounds. We were doing e-rounds twice a day, and we continue to do that. Potentially helps improve the treatment outcomes. This digitized model is cost effective because it saves on the traveling and training costs, and as well as the time of specialists is saved. A realistic and robust solution of hand-holding tele-ICU between the district consultants, the intensivists, and the experts in managing the ICU patients. It's a futuristic approach towards management of outbreaks, epidemics, and pandemics. Next. We ensured that the standard treatment protocol to all the critical COVID ICU patients were categorized as mild, moderate, severe in all the district hospitals, medical colleges, as well as private hospitals of Karnataka, following the same treatment protocol, so that there is no variance and suboptimal treatment anywhere, aiming to reduce the mortality and morbidity of ICU patients and digitization of all the health records. Next. The outcomes were to have the uniform and optimal treatment to all the critical patients across the state of Karnataka, aim to reduce the mortality and morbidity of ICU patients, digitization of health records. This initiative is a one-of-a-kind public-private venture in the country where high-quality, homogenized critical care is given across all government hospitals, which rivals many private facilities. This is witnessed by the in the industry benchmarked mortality, which is seen in the ICU in all our facilities. It is on par with all the cutting edge ICU facilities across the state. This initiative is easily replicable, scalable, and sustainable. This is a PPP model of implementation, e-rounds by specialists and super specialists, real-time data capture of hospitalized and ICU COVID patients. Data will be monitored, analyzed at the tele-ICU, and necessary intervention for policy decisions. Next. Real-time, as I said, real-time data capture is being monitored, updated using technology tools. ICU preparedness is ensured. Expert panel at the ICCSU make sure that the ongoing treatment is in accordance with the guidelines issued by WHO and ICMR. The nodal officers of each institution to compile data and report to the CCSU regularly. E-rounds by super specialists, partnered with the reputed hospitals, as I said, like Manipal Group, Columbia Asia, and Narayana Hrudayalaya Group. Guide and supervise the treatment protocols on a daily basis, and also on call in case there is an emergency during the non-round time as well. Management of high-risk patients to reduce the mortality of critically ill COVID patients. Coordination and handholding of all the government hospitals treating COVID-19 ICU patients across Karnataka. And review meetings are being regularly held to ensure any logistics and manpower shortages are handled immediately. Next. So this shows the month-on-month how the case fatality has been effectively reduced. Now I think we are around 1% CFR as Honorable PM had given the target. Next. So this also as a correlation, the increase in the month-on-month recovery rate of all our patients. Next. The CCSU interventions to sum up all our efforts, PPP model to optimize HR requirements and special investigations. We realized that many places they were not in a position, or they didn't have the wherewithal to do the critical inflammatory marker tests like D-dimer, CRP. So those were immediately addressed, and any shortfall in any reagents or any such thing is immediately taken care of. Special emphasis was given for fluid replacement strategy, ventilation strategy, as planned by the expert panel at the tele-ICU. Easy transfer of COVID patients needing dialysis between facilities was facilitated by the tele-ICU. Many places, the installation of liquid oxygen plant with RO for the dialysis units were set up in many district hospitals. Continued medical and nursing education to hone up their skills in handling critically ill patients. Now we are focusing on the quality aspect in the ICU as well. So we are introducing the Apache scoring for all the patients getting into the ICU so that we know the mortality which can be predicted and the outcomes post discharge so that any intervention at the ICU level can be done immediately. And handling of logistics like oxygen supply, remdesivir with buffer stock and steady flow of ABG cartridges were also being ensured. Thank you. So to sum up, this has been a really pioneering effort with the active intervention of the government as well as the wholehearted support of the private sector. So this has yielded in effective results with respect to reducing mortality in all the hospitals. And as I said, many of the hospitals in the ICU care, our government hospitals are in a much better position and have delivered much better results than many private facilities also. Thank you. And, if any questions are there, please let me.
Under this PPP model, this mortality rate which you have told 1.86, it has come to 1.36.
Yes, sir.
Now, is it of CCS patients or is it in general?
So this is the overall mortality in the states, and particularly with respect to the critical care patients. When we started off in many of the ICUs, we are looking at mortality around 40 to 50%. So now we have reduced the industry standard, gold standard in ICU care is around 25%, even in reputed government private hospitals. So now we are reached that stage. Our overall mortality in the critical care scenario also is around 20 to 25%.
Okay. Yeah. Briefly, could you just elaborate PPP model? No, this
Yes,
is the
sir.
first time I am hearing that you are, because government is taking help of private hospital, but as a model, no, how
Yes,
you
sir.
are actually operating.
Yes, sir. So yeah, so we our headquarters, the critical care support unit. We have our the doctors from the health department. I'm heading. Though being an IS officer, I'm basically a medical doctor. So we are at the headquarters, facilitating the interaction between the private sector specialists. But particularly, as I said, we had shortage of trained intensivists. So these trained intensivists from these private hospitals, we have grouped them into three groups across the state. Each hospital is handling around 10 districts. So these trained intensivists from these private hospitals do regular twice a day e-rounds with all their respective government hospital treating doctors. So morning and evening they do the rounds and they discuss all the critical care cases in that respective facility, and they look after the treatment protocol, any other interventions, or if they require any advice from any other related specialty or the specialist, they also come online and guide the local doctors, and the treatment is instituted. And even offline also, in case during non-e rounds, if they want any advice or guidance, they can immediately get in touch with them, and they are more than happy to advise them as to how to go about the treatment modality. And also we have another part of this PPP is the Bosch India also, and also another firm called Cloud Physician. They lend their services in establishing actually the high resolution cameras in in a few of our ICUs, so that remotely the physicians can monitor live the patients who are there in the ICU, because many of the non-verbal cues which they can pick up from the patients also they can immediately address sitting remotely.
This is there any control over charges also? Have you prescribed different charges and these private hospitals they are adhering to
Yes,
it?
as apart from this, this PPP has been totally free. So all these three group of hospitals are doing pro bono, but the government has prescribed the cap of the treatment in all the private hospitals. Apart from this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Hello.
Yes, we can move to next.
Can I just have a small question from?
Yes, Gupta ji, please.
I just wanted to know the availability of ICU facilities in the state for the patients.
Yes, sir.
What is the status?
So one is particularly in Bangalore, there has been a centralized bed management facility which our Bangalore municipality headquarters is running. Similarly, in the district also, the district commissioners, they are running their bed management facilities. So the centralized bed allocation is ensured that there's no shortage or blocking of beds by any of these private facilities, and all the needy patients are ensured that they get the required attention at the hospitals.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the presentation. Now next is
Hi.
Miss
Hi.
Dr. Shakuntala from
Yeah. Yeah.
Vaidya Hospital. Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning. I am Dr. Sudha Rao. I am representing the Bhai Vadia Hospital for Children from Mumbai. It's a great pleasure to be amongst this August gathering here, and it's a very important opportunity for me and